So the last time I tried to record this video, my dog was right over here humping a pillow in the background, so I think I'm going to just hold him this time. What I wanted to talk about is if you're so afraid that God won't take care of you, how can you ever relax enough to focus on more important things like doing His will? Fear will drive you to make survival your number one priority, and it will shut down your ability to focus on anything else. That's just what fear does. Unfortunately, the reality is that we live in a world that has sin in it, and because there's sin, there's death. But when you come under God's care and His protection, then He takes you in as His own, and you're not just out there wandering anymore. You belong to Him. Can you imagine your animal sitting around with anxiety all day long thinking, oh my gosh, is my owner going to starve me to death, like completely to death? No, they get to play and have fun and just exist, and also learn to obey us and be a pet. Well, God wants the same thing for us. He doesn't want us sitting there fretting and worrying. Yes, we need to be smart and we got to do what we got to do, but we don't need to be living in fear. We need to be trusting in the Lord because He's our owner. Make sense? I also just want to add that if you think about a pet who can't have food and water for a period of time because they're about to have surgery or something, or maybe they have to be left in a cage for a lot of hours, an animal is not going to understand why you're doing what you're doing. They're just going to suffer and be hungry and be thirsty and think that maybe you're starving them to death. There's also times where bad things will happen to a pet, like another pet will attack it and it will die, or they'll die from some disease or something. And that's not a lack of God being a good owner. I understand that tension and that there is a wrestling to be done between you and God over these things, because I myself have wrestled with, like, okay, God wants me to trust that He's going to protect me, but at the same time, I know that bad things still happen. So, like, how do you trust somebody who does allow bad things to happen? I think basically you just have to understand the same perspective a pet would have, that your owner is going to care for you and your needs and protect you as far as it depends on them, and as far as it doesn't violate the free will that exists, like abusive people who might come in and shoot your dog. Obviously, this analogy isn't complete where it can fully explain everything, but if you play it all the way out, you understand that God's ways are higher than our ways, and He uses every bad thing for good. So in the end, He is still good and He is still trustworthy, and that's the point.